Let's go live now to the Shadow Minister for Infrastructure and Transport, also the National Senate Leader, Bridget McKenzie. Thanks for your time. We got off pretty lightly, it looks like, compared to the rest of the world when it comes to the Trump Liberation Day tariffs. Would you agree with that?
Well, I think what today's announcement by President Trump shows is that the PM's weakness and inexperience on foreign affairs matters has left us wanting. We need to be having a Prime Minister that's prepared to stand up for our country. Couldn't get this guy off a plane for 2 years, and yet he hasn't been able to get on the plane and actually have that face-to-face meeting with President Trump to actually argue for our national interests. He was unable to secure the exemption for our steel and aluminium manufacturers. And again, today, we've been lumped with a 10% tariff on our exports to the US, which doesn't just hurt our farmers, obviously also hurts American consumers who'll be paying more for their burgers.
But don't voters see that every other country that exports into the US has been hit with tariffs? We got the baseline 10%, no more.
Well, I think here and what voters see is that President Trump is making the case for America. He's decided that tariffs are the way that he feels he can put America's interests first. We know that this won't be a good thing for world trade. We are a trading nation, and we need a Prime Minister that's prepared to not just talk tough about matters of international concern, but actually act. And I hope he does take up I hope he absolutely takes up Peter Dutton's offer to a bipartisan approach to this tariff issue, that he takes up Peter's offer to go make a statement as both potential Prime Ministers after the federal election, as Peter made that commitment earlier this morning, an offer to the PM.
Do you accept, though, that it would be very unlikely that Australia would be the only country in the world to be exempt, even if conversations were had, phone calls, visits?
Well, we don't know. I think the one thing about President Trump's administration, and it's been very unpredictable over recent months, and you've got a Prime Minister in Anthony Albanese who talks tough here at home, is unprepared to act, who's self-congratulating himself on making a phone call to the President a couple of months ago, but is unable or unwilling to actually get on the plane, get to the US and have that face-to-face meeting. Peter Dutton has made the commitment that his very first international visit will be to the US to maintain and build his strong relationship with the Trump administration so that we can secure our national interest going forward, something the Prime Minister's been unable to do.
On we're about to go to Peter Dutton. I do want to get your comments, though, on the $600 million commitment, I believe, to infrastructure in WA. Can you talk us through what the details are of that?
Absolutely. Well, here we're in Perth. Obviously, I'll be joining Peter Dutton shortly to announce what has been reported in the Western Australian paper here, that a coalition government, David Littleproud and Peter Dutton, will be putting $600 million to address our freight supply chain issues in this state. The two big industries, mining, resources and agriculture, are the real powerhouse industries here in the West that don't just power the economy here, but indeed power our national economy. We know that those road connections that are in this great big state, getting that product to port here in Perth, require investment. The Labor Party's been very East Coast focused when it comes to investing in the West, whether it's banning the live sheep trade or their anti-mining approach under Tanya Plibersek as Environment Minister. We are prepared to invest in the future of the mining and agriculture industries here in the West, and that's what our announcement will be about today.
Bridget McKenzie, thanks. We will stay in touch.